Hello and welcome back to Asia Now. My name is Alex, and in this video I'll tell you about a mystery illness leaves a tourist hospitalized and in financial crisis. Man takes sail lady hostage in the Philippines mall. China at it again, this time with a dangerous maneuver of a helicopter towards Philippines aircraft. A steep decline in Philippines crime rates. Donated rice, plus much more, beginning with the USD to peso exchange rate. But first, if you guys are new to the channel or have been watching but haven't had a chance to subscribe, take a second out of your day, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It does really motivate me to continue making these videos. Here is the exchange rate, $1 right now, well over 58 pesos, which is great because a couple of days ago it fell below to 57.4 actually, or 5. So yeah, glad that we're back over 58. Here's our main story. The family of Raymond Wallace, a 72-year-old retired truck driver from Sidmouth, Devon, I guess that's maybe either UK or Australia, is urgently seeking to bring him back, the UK, after he was hospitalized with a severe unidentified illness in Thailand. A distressing 5 a.m. call from the Thai hospital demanding payment initially led the family to suspect a scam before realizing the gravity of the situation. A FaceTime call revealed Wallace unconscious and connected to multiple medical devices. Doctors initially suspected pneumonia but later considered acute respiratory distress syndrome. A subsequent call to the British Embassy suggested potential kidney issues, leaving the family uncertain about his exact condition. Compounding the crisis, Wallace's travel insurance had expired shortly before his hospitalization, resulting in a medical expense escalating to £3,000, that's over 127,000 baht per day. To manage these mounting costs, the family has launched a GoFundMe campaign. Medical professionals have indicated that without rapid improvement, Wallace may need to be transferred to a hospital in Bangkok for further treatment. In response, his children are preparing to fly to Thailand to assess the situation firsthand. Whoa, I hope he recovers. One of those situations where it's very important to have medical coverage, medical insurance when you're traveling. Of course, a lot of times you don't need it, but if something like this happens, it's a dire situation where you need money instantly. So I actually use Safety Wing myself. I don't know if that's right for everybody because I know different people have different conditions, and I'm somewhat, relatively younger. I don't have any medical conditions, so I'm okay with that. But whatever you use, they are affiliate of mine, a sponsor of mine for my main channel. If you guys want to get that, I can give you my affiliate link if you're going to get it anyways. The point is, make sure you have some kind of coverage, because some people self-assure, right? So self-insure, which means they put money away into like a little savings, and if something happens, they go ahead and take it from there because they think it's better value, especially in Southeast Asian countries where the cost of things is a bit cheaper. Typically, generally, of course, not a situation that's this dire. Let me know, what do you think of this story? Any tip, advice, any comments you have, or any theories, any thoughts regarding this, leave them down below. If you take your time to write it, I'll take your time to respond. Here's our next story. Next up in the Philippines, a man took a sales lady hostage for about 3 hours at a gadget store in Lipa City Mall on Tuesday afternoon. According to police, he entered the store around 4 p.m., grabbed the sales lady, and threatened her with a sharp object. Authorities said the suspect, who has a history of addiction, believed someone was after him and tried to get him. Incredible scenes. This was a little bit like, I kept seeing this come up and I thought maybe it wasn't that big of an issue because the one I saw said the person surrendered, nobody was harmed. But there was 2 videos going around. I still cannot verify if it's the same video or if it's 2 separate actual incidences, because I think he came from the mall downstairs to the street, but the video looks like a different person, so I have no idea. But I know for sure the one I showed you guys initially, like this one, is the one I'm reporting on. Then again, I saw this one pop up a little bit, so I don't really know if they're related or not. 2 separate incidences, the same one, at least not by the time I made this video. Maybe by the time you guys watch this, it'll be a little bit clearer. And then next up, a Chinese military helicopter performed a dangerous maneuver towards an aircraft of the Bureau of Fisheries Aquatic Resources during a maritime domain awareness in the Philippines flight at the Baho de Masinloc on Tuesday. The Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy helicopter with tail number 68 came close to as 3 meters to the port side of the above aircraft, raising significant concerns regarding the Navy's clear violation and blatant disregard for international civil aviation organizations' international aviation regulations. This reckless action of Chinese helicopter posed a serious risk to the safety of the pilot and passengers during the MDA flight. And the U.S. Embassy has something to say. The U.S. Embassy in the Philippines ambassador to the Philippines, Mary Kay Carlson, said, "We call on China to refrain from coercive action and settle its disputes peacefully in accordance with international law." Nothing new here. I don't know what the purpose of these maneuvers, these actions are against the Philippines. It's been going on for a while now. Is it just simply flexing? Do they want to instigate something? What is the purpose? What is the end game? At what point is enough, someone going to do something about this? We need to kind of resolve this issue. Then Cebu City Mayor Raymond Alvin Garcia announced that the Malaysian government plans to assist with the city's infrastructure projects, including dams and mass transportation, following their visit last week. Whoa, that's fantastic. I've been to Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and other parts of it, and very advanced, and this is amazing. I'm glad that they're going to go and help, because I'm sure they can use some assistance, because Malaysia, like I just said, it's very advanced. I was very surprised when I was there how technically the organization, infrastructure, everything seems to be clean. A very beautiful place, actually. The whole country, I went to like 4, 5, maybe 6 cities. I was very impressed. So I have a whole series of Malaysian videos if you guys are curious on my main channel. The point is, this is good for Cebu City. Speaking of Cebu City, the mayor, Mike Rama, actually just his petition, or his I don't know the legal terms, but his letter to the ombudsman, I can never say that word, ombudsman office to get his rollback was rejected, meaning he cannot be the mayor because the current mayor is just a temporary one while this case is being resolved. He has been charged with nepotism and other stuff. Regardless, he lost that case, if you guys were curious about that. Anyhow, our next story. Let's talk about a couple positive things in the Philippines. The Philippine National Police has recorded a 26.76% decline in the country's overall crime rate, attributed to the strengthening law enforcement operations and community engagement by the police. Awesome. So almost a quarter less crime going around in the Philippines, at least reported crimes. Good news. And then dozens of 40-kilo sacks of K-rice, a rice gift from the Republic of Korea, as seen in the National Food Authority warehouse in Venezuela City on Wednesday. These sacks of rice are donated by South Korea for the recent typhoon victims in the Philippines. Fantastic. South Korea donating rice to the Philippines. Thank you, South Korea, for helping those in need. And here's a very interesting story from a village in China I want to cover. A tourist village in China's southwestern province of Sichuan, famed for its scenic snow landscape, said it was sorry for using cotton wool and soapy water to create fake snow after online criticism from visitors went viral. What are you doing, bro? You think people don't know what snow is like? Even if people haven't seen snow, they're gonna visit and see and touch and feel. What are you thinking? If it's just for photos, come on, man. Also, China has a lot of snowy places, so I don't understand why they gotta fake this. I'm sure there's a lot more to the story. I was gonna read more into it, but I just don't care enough. But this is not the first time China's done some stuff like this. They've been accused of putting peoples in panda costumes at the zoos. They've actually shown big, giant waterfalls to be having tubes of water, basically man-made waterfalls. So stuff like this doesn't what the hell? Stuff like this does not surprise me at all. No offense, China. Please let me in the country. I want to come in there at some point later in the future. Do not ban me. It is what it is. Stop doing weird stuff and I'll stop covering it. Let's go back to some more positive stuff. In Thailand, I know usually we hear some crazy stuff, but this time I'm going to cover 2 positive stories. A Thai woman received 30,000 baht, that's just under $1,000 reward, after returning a missing monkey doll to its owner. The man had posted an urgent plea online offering the cash prize to anyone who could find it after he lost it near a convenience store. I'm going to guess 7-Eleven. He explained that the doll was a gift from his mother when he was 4 years old and had been with him ever since, making it deeply sentimental. After seeing his post, the woman who found it contacted him and returned it safely. True to his word, he gave her the full 30,000 baht reward. Awesome. Another story, 2 students in Saraburi returned 32,000 baht that was mistakenly handed to them at a gold shop. They had visited the store to buy jewelry, but later realized they had received extra cash. Without hesitation, they returned to the shop and gave it back. The shop owner praised their integrity and thanked them for their honesty. As a token of appreciation, the owner rewarded them with 1,000 baht for doing the right thing. Yeah, that is doing the right thing. Actually, how do you just accidentally hand over at least 10 notes, right? 1,000 baht notes. It's a lot of money to be given back. Although I don't think I'll ever have that kind of problem in my life. I ain't no jewelry shopper. But those are the stories. Oh, I got one more really quickly. Vietnam Parliament approves $8 billion rail link to China. So straight from Vietnam to China. Actually, they're working on a plan from Thailand, from my understanding, to China as well. A rail link that's supposed to be finished by 2028. Don't quote me on the dates, but crazy, right? It's bad enough already, at least in Thailand, having so many tourists. In a few years, it might get a lot worse. And those are the top stories from today. Now it's time for our segment today, and where I share them with some of the most popular comments regarding our previous video. Zenda Alona, a big supporter of the channel, says, I wonder why nobody is saying anything about the snow and if the runway was safe enough to land, in which I replied based on what the fire chief said. According to the fire chief, runway was dry and no crosswinds. He specifically said it's too early to tell and asked not to speculate about anything since it's too early in the investigation. So I left out the potential causes of the plane crash. This is the one, the Minnesota, the Toronto-bound plane from Minnesota. I want to say Endeavor, I could be wrong, but the Delta flight that flipped upside down in Toronto. And says, I don't eat pork, not for religious reasons, but for health reasons. Thank you for sharing. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow with some more news from around the Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, Laos, Cambodia, or some random country that I think is interesting. Oh yeah, China. Bye.